I finished the rough draft of my seventh novel. And after telling everyone on social media it was done, I emailed my editor to let her know that it would be ready in a few weeks. Her first available slot was 3 months away. Even though it sucks to wait, I asked her to add me to her calendar, and I'm going to tell you why. Hi, I'm David Peterson, and I've got angst. Welcome back to Believe in Your Story, where I share some of the writing challenges I've faced and how I've dealt with them. Today, we're going to talk about editors. When I finished writing my first book, Angst, I begged for help cleaning it up. The book went through 2 rounds of critiques and editing by several writers. I published it and moved on to book 2, Buried in Angst. I hired an editor for Buried, and she made the pages bleed. I eventually asked her to go back and line edit book 1 for consistency. This is what happened. There's a huge difference between the Chicago Book of Style and a high school or college textbook. This is what the pros use. If you aren't applying these rules to your novel, your book reviews could look like this. Bad grammar is the bane of indie books. It hovers over authors who actually hire editors. With or without an editor, you're going to get bad reviews. There will always be readers who won't connect with your book. You may not even get the chance to connect with them when poor grammar pulls them out of your story. If you think you're good enough to do it without an editor, ask George R.R. Martin or Stephen King if they use an editor, and then reconsider. What kind of editor do I need? Do a search for different types of editors out there, and you'll quickly find that the definitions don't match up. This will hopefully give you a place to start. Developmental editors look at the big picture and provide you feedback on the overall story arc, theme, and characters. A line editor zooms in to review word choice, word repetition, and make sure everything is clear. A copy editor cleans up the spelling, grammar, and punctuation in your manuscript, typically based on that Chicago Manual of Style. Proofreaders give your novel a final once-over before publication to check for typos or spelling errors. Some people are going to completely disagree with this list, but the definitions aren't important. I want you to think about the various options out there and what will help make your novel better. A lot of authors think they only need line and copy editing. I'll argue that developmental editing is equally important. When your significant other, a close friend, or your mom reads your story, they're going to blanket accept certain things because they know you. Even worse, they may gloss over things that don't make sense because they don't want to hurt your feelings. A developmental editor won't be so kind, and neither will your readers. Finding an editor. I found my editor Danielle Fine through other authors I admire. Editors are often credited on a book's Amazon page. Sometimes you can find them on the copyright page of your book. While you can always do a Google search, there are plenty of author forums out there too. Editors looking for work sometimes post to sites like kboards.com. What to expect? Before I started working with Dani, I emailed to see if she was available and interested. She asked for a chapter and sent it back in pieces. Her edits were solid. Her recommendations were fair, and when I was done crying, I hired her. That first exchange is important. Not only do you want to see an example of their work, you are looking for someone who understands your voice and writing style. When it comes to developmental edits, we don't always agree. 9 times out of 10, she's right. Probably more than that. A great example is Julie in Entrance Online. She wasn't a huge fan of the character and explained why, so I reworked Julie a little. Apparently, not enough for some. My editor doesn't always know what I'm planning for future books, so I don't blanket accept her advice. That's the great freedom of being an indie. We do what we want, but we also have to learn hard from our mistakes. Go hire an editor. Danielle Fine is brilliant. She's been my editor for almost a decade. Not only does she make my writing better, I think she's made me a better writer by learning from her edits. If you're interested in working with her, check out her awesome site at danielfine.com. Just stay away from her when I need her, because I was here first. If you're an editor, we need you. Drop your link in the comments below. If you're a writer, go write, and believe in your story.
Hi, I'm David Peterson, and I've got angst. Hey, Mama, what are you doing? Quit eating my yard.